What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. I am feeling very caffeinated and a little artistic today, so I'm going to do a little bit of facial mapping. Drawing all over my face to show you guys where we properly place fillers. It's the fall time. A lot of people say, my face is falling. Let's lift it back up. Keeping the volume in your face in the right places helps to keep your face looking rejuvenated and natural. That's the key. By having it properly placed, you will look and feel natural. If it's put in the wrong place or if it's overfilled, then oftentimes people start to look a little When you turn to look at somebody, I always feel like you should see their eyes first. When you turn to look at somebody and all you see is cheeks or all you see is lips, it's like, oh, okay, hey, who did your filler? The number one thing I hear when it comes to fillers is that people don't want to look full. You don't want to look like a full pumpkin. Your face should have structure and should be able to move, but it should also look soft and squishy. Your face is made of fat. There's bone underneath there, but on the top is fatty tissue, so it should move and feel soft. And there are a lot of products out there now that mimic that fat really, really well, and as long as it's properly placed, you'll look and feel very natural. And every woman looks in the mirror and just lifts just a little bit, because this is what we used to have. When we're babies, we have a fuller cheek here. You know, those little babies in their chubby, chubby cheeks. But if you had the same cheeks that you had when you were a baby as an adult, you're gonna look ridiculous. There's a theory out there called the triangle of beauty. The triangle of beauty. I'm not gonna draw this on my face because it might look ridiculous, but it goes a little something like this. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so when you have that triangle, it helps to keep the focus up in the eyes, and then the tip of the chin should be the other. When it inverts, we start to get full fat down here, we start to get the frowny here, so everybody starts to see, and we're sad, and we lose our chin. To keep that triangle with the eyes as the predominance, that keeps people looking and feeling bright and natural and looking their best. So keeping with that trend, when it comes to fillers, you want to keep the volume higher up in the face. So there's two lines that we try and focus with. Back to your tragus, from the nasal area to the tragus, back through here, and then we go from the corner of the eye to the corner of the mouth. You can map somebody's face out in three different regions: the upper, the mid face, and then the lower. You don't want to fill down through here, even though if this is the area that you're seeing that you feel like your face is falling, and you say, this is what bothers me down here, you don't want to necessarily address this area with the fillers, because then you're just adding more volume lower. But putting the product in the mid face actually helps to rejuvenate and lift that back up. So easily placing a little bit of filler through this area back here, keeping the volume a little bit higher in your face. You can keep this little, we call it the little Nike swoosh, that kind of goes up this way. It helps to just naturally lift the cheek and keep it up here. Going to an experienced injector where they look normal, their staff looks normal, is so important because it shows you what their idea of beauty is. Focusing on an area and getting hyper-focused, sometimes people will start to lose features of their face. They start to lose this natural fold. Everybody has this fold to begin with, so do I, and it should stay there because when I smile, it's there. Eventually, as it starts to really crease and maybe makeup is settling in there, you can put some through there, but by keeping the volume back here, you can see that it just lifts that nicely. Same thing underneath the eye. People get hyper focused under here, and they start to fill the cheek area, and they start to look like this, and then their eyes disappear. So that's my quick little, that's why we put filler through the mid face in order to lift the cheek a little bit. It really helps address the issues in the lower face, but it helps focus up through this area here. You can see that keeping that volume up here can address under here, and it addresses here, and it addresses down through here, but you're actually putting the product up here. Another area that can be remarkable for a difference for somebody who feels like their face is coming down is actually refilling the temples. We also lose some volume through here, and this really holds things up quite a bit. So to keep the fullness through your temple, through the higher part of your cheek, down forward through here, if you're starting to get this fold and this crease that comes this way, filling underneath the eye can really help, but not going overboard. You know, you have to keep things into perspective. If you ever get a good friend or like a pseudo acquaintance asking you, oh, how does your filler? That's probably not a good thing. You can tell that you've had filler done. That's not the goal. I think that keeping people looking natural and subtle and looking just like yourself is kind of my philosophy. The last thing I'm going to mention about this area, just since we've been chatting about it so much, is the Botoxable areas. So yes, filling here can actually help to decrease the amount of Botox that you need here depending on your musculature. Those little squinchy lines that we start to get, that's actually more of a Botox thing. So putting a splash of Botox through here can actually help to lift your brow slightly, and it helps to kind of brighten this area, but it's a totally different animal than fillers. You can put a little bit of filler back through here, and that might help to smooth and lift that just a little bit too. All right, well, hopefully that helped a little bit for people to understand about where we put the volume so we can help to kind of lift the face. When you feel like your face is falling, we lift it back up. The product that we normally use is something called Juvederm Voluma. That normally will last you almost 2 years. Lastly, when it comes to that Juvederm family of products, there is actually another way of looking up companies. Going through the Brilliant Distinctions website, you can find reputable providers near you by typing in your area code. They'll show you the different statuses of the companies based on how much product that the company orders, but you can oftentimes tell the reputability of a company by how much product they purchase. Otherwise, you're going to a company who may not do this very often, so that means they don't do it very often. Like our company is diamond status with Brilliant Distinctions because we use so much of their product. We do this all day long, every day. This is what we're good at. So if you're not near me, look up your area code, find another diamond status provider, and you're probably in pretty good hands. Find an office that has a board certified plastic surgeon or dermatologist that has experienced nurse injectors. Find somebody that you just mesh with. Find somebody that when you walk in, you vibe with them, you feel like they're listening to you, and then listen to them. And if they're saying things that are kind of along the same trend as what I'm going, you know that they're right. So thanks for watching my video about increasing the volume through your cheeks to help to lift when you feel like you've fallen. Let me know what you guys want to learn about next. If you liked my video today, please like it, actually down below. Subscribe to it, hit the little bell so that you get alerts when I post new videos. I've been pretty good about keeping up with them, doing them about once a week. Thanks for watching.